Internet shutdowns are a major trend occurring around the world. They are a tool used in both democratic and authoritarian countries. At their core, shutdowns are activities undertaken by governments to intentionally restrict or disrupt internet access in a time-bound period. They run the gamut from full blackouts, where no one has connectivity, to partial shutdowns where certain platforms or websites are blocked. A most recent example of internet shutdowns have occurred in Russia. The government in that country has banned Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as an array of news websites such as the BBC and Voice of America, with more potential blockings to come. Now, shutdowns occur most frequently in response to four event types. First, mass protests, such as occurred in Iran in 2019 or Sudan in 2020. Second, elections, such as happened in Belarus in 2020 or Uganda last year in 2021. Third, in relation to conflict or military coups, such as is happening in Ethiopia at present as part of its civil war taking place in Tigray. Fourth, as part of ongoing repression, such as we're seeing in Myanmar. So how can citizens in democracies respond? To answer these questions, Carnegie has released a new paper on internet shutdowns, describing trends, strategies, and responses. What we know is that short-term disruptions are morphing increasingly into longer-term controls, such as blocking platforms, throttling, or filtering specific content. Also, shutdowns are not just an authoritarian problem. They also occur frequently in democracies. For example, India leads the world when it comes to the frequency of internet shutdowns on an annual basis. So what can citizens in democracies do? Now, satellite and Wi-Fi balloons capture people's imagination, but they rarely are effective or practical for policymakers to use. Other tools are more effective. Mesh networks are useful when connectivity is fully severed, such as occurred during Hong Kong protests in 2019 to 20. Mesh networks allow users to connect to one another via Bluetooth. Now, a smart response strategy incorporates four parts. First is preparation in advance. This means ensuring that citizens are able to download tools ahead of potential windows of risk, whether contested elections or scheduled protests or something else where there's a higher risk that internet shutdowns will occur. Second, it's important for tools to be affordable and accessible. If citizens are unable to figure out how to download or use a VPN, for example, then their utility will be limited in terms of circumventing shutdowns. Third, non-technological strategies should complement technological approaches. This means, for example, figuring out ways to smuggle content via physical networks or implementing strategic litigation to use courts to push back against government attempts to shut down the network. Finally, raising the cost of shutting down the internet, such as building advocacy coalitions, accruing reputational damage against countries that shut down the internet, or incurring financial costs against these countries, is an important component of an internet shutdown strategy. To wrap up, shutdowns matter. Online communication is an essential component of human rights. To learn more about internet shutdowns, please read Carnegie's paper on our website.